Hello and welcome to Plant Crafted Pantry. Today we are making vegan butter two ways, in stick form as well as spreadable. First we'll make the butter sticks. We're starting with half a cup of soy milk and I'm adding a quarter teaspoon of lemon juice and stirring that together. And then I let that sit for a couple of minutes before pouring it into my blender cup. Now I'm adding half a cup of olive oil, half a cup of melted refined coconut oil, and half a cup of shortening. The shortening helps with the texture of the butter, so it's a little bit more like what you buy in the store and holds together better than if you just used coconut oil for the solid fat. Next, we're adding 2 teaspoons of soy lecithin to emulsify, and then we'll blend this up in the NutriBullet. I like my sticks unsalted so I can use them for baking, but you could also add some salt. So here is what it looks like after blending. Now I'm using a silicone butter mold that I found on Amazon. I will link it below for you. And I'm going to divide this mixture between the 4 sticks. I smoothed out the top with my spatula and then patted it on the counter a couple of times to smooth out the tops. Cleaned off the edges with a damp rag and then put the cover on. I froze that overnight and then let it thaw in the refrigerator for a couple of hours. So now we're ready to demold the butter sticks. I like this mold since it has indents at the tablespoon marks, so it's easy to measure just like store-bought butter. Now I'm just wrapping each stick in parchment paper, and I will keep those in the fridge. Now on to our spreadable butter. Since it's the same ingredients, I tend to make both versions at once, so I only have to clean the blender once. Again, I'm starting with half a cup of soy milk and adding a quarter teaspoon of lemon juice and letting that sit for a minute before adding it into my blender cup. Then this time I'm adding half a cup of melted refined coconut oil, 3/4 of a cup of olive oil, and 1/4 cup of shortening. The different ratios of ingredients will make this version softer and more spreadable than the sticks. Next, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of soy lecithin, and this time I'm adding 1 teaspoon of salt. Putting on the blade, and we'll blend that up until it's emulsified. So you can see this version is a little more liquidy than the first one. I'm pouring this into 3 1-cup containers, making sure to leave some room at the top so it can expand in the freezer. So then I will put the lids on these and let them set up in the freezer for at least a couple of hours before moving it to the fridge. I keep the containers that I'm not using yet in the freezer so they stay fresh until I'm ready to start using them. So here's the texture now that it has set up, and just spreading it on some toast so you can see it in action. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you try it out and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.